Hi everybody, this is Dutch at the Mystic Mountain Homestead, and today we're going to be checking out this hive here. It's been having issues with the head. I think we had to requeen, is that correct?
Yeah, the smaller colony, we've had to requeen it, and it's run into some issues.
So now we're going to check it for varroa mites and some other things. Well, let's get on into it, y'all.
We win. Oh, hi, this is Kimberly with Skiatook Bee Supply, and I'm here with Beekeeper Bill today. He's got a couple of wonderful hives here. This one is really strong, and this one is having some a little bit of a problem. It's lost its queen. It had to be requeened. It slowed its growth down, and so we're just going to be looking in here and diving in to see if we can find some brood and see how they're doing today. So here we go. Take the screen top. Yeah. So Bill has recently powdered sugared. Would you say yesterday, Bill? Okay, and this is a smaller colony because they have been having problems. We're just going to scoot this all over here. Scoot the feeder over. We'll leave the powdered sugar in place. Looks like they still have some cleanup to do. Moving those over because these are drawn combs. Here we go. Look in there. Okay, let's get in here. This is just 2 frames of bees. So it's really going to be hard for them to survive the winter, but we do have a plan for them. If we can get them through this little hardship here, we do have a plan to help them survive. We're going to be wintering them on top of this stronger colony over here. So this is a frame of honey here, and there was wax moth damage in this hive. Bill's been trying to clear that up. We've had these in the freezer. You can see the little dark spots here is some fecal matter from wax moths. And but the bees can do the cleanup when we get the colony strong enough, and all the live hive beetle larvae have been killed off by freezing the frames for 3 full days. So we're just looking in here right quick. Kind of blow them so I can see. This is all nectar they're working on. Let's look at this side. What do we have here? Nectar here, capped honey here. Excuse me, girls, I would like to see in there. Oh, this is full of young larvae. So if you get right into the sun there and you get right down in there, you can see that this is full of young larvae. Good. And eggs. Okay, let's get it out in the sun just a little bit. The afternoon sun's out of the sun. Sun's starting to go down.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
So that indicates to us that we have a working queen because they have some really young larvae in there. Now this is one of the frames that you can see that had a lot of wax moth damage. Look at that. They do this webbing here. And you can see the little black pieces are fecal matter in it, and so we try to remove most of that. Most of this looks pretty good. The bees will do some of the cleanup on this. I do like to kind of remove some of the webbing because it does make it a little bit easier. They tend to kind of get caught in the webbing a little bit, but it had some honey on it and we didn't want to waste that honey, so after these were frozen they were added back to the colony. As you can see, this was a plastic frame, and the wax moth larvae just pretty much ate all this away, and it did leave this little bit of honey up here in this corner. So we're going to giving that back to the bees. So we are seeing really young larvae. I'm going to just search that one more time. Sometimes even in a really small colony, it might be hard to just, oh, there she is, right here.
There we go.
So she's doing the work. You can tell that they've been powdered sugar recently. They're a little bit dull because of the powdered sugar dusting, but that's to get rid of the varroa mites. That was another thing. When one problem happens in a colony, usually several different pests will hone in on that colony and create problems. So while this colony is really strong, and I apologize for my phone, when a colony is really weak, then other pests will come in and tend to bother it too. So what we're going to do with this colony is we're just going to let them grow, continue to feed them. He powdered sugared them again. How many times is this that you powdered sugared, Bill?
The second time was yesterday.
yesterday, and it was what, about 2 weeks ago you powdered sugar before that. 10 days ago. That's about what you need to do, is about 10 days apart, a good powdered sugar dusting, and then he's feeding these colony with some essential oil mix in the 1-to-1 sugar water. Now, what we need to do at this point after today, I want you to switch to 2 parts sugar.
And they can find that recipe at your Facebook page?
Yeah, if you go to Skiatook Bee Supply on Facebook, and you will find that essential oil recipe for making the sugar syrup and making this oil mix that you put into it. It's not the food, it's an additive you add to your sugar syrup, 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 in this case is what we're going to be doing, to help knock varroa mites down and help funguses and viruses and that sort of thing. So yeah, just go to Skiatook Bee Supply and you can find that on Facebook. So I would go ahead and switch next time you feed to 2 parts sugar to 1 part water, and continue with the essential oil mix. You're doing everything right. Let's check the oil tray back here. We have an oil tray. This is a California bottle. I would go ahead and leave this. Look how much oil. Can you see this over here? How much oil is left in this tray after you powder sugar dusted?
Oh yeah.
This knocks varroa mites and hive beetles down. There's leaving a couple ants that got in there. And this is still, the beetles can't walk on that. They would sink and get into that oil, and the mites will fall into it and drown. So I wouldn't
see an ant in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't waste the oil, Bill. I would just go ahead and leave that in there.
Yeah, that still looks good and clean.
And let's get some more mileage out of that oil before we change it.
Okay.
Okay, so this looks really good. I would like to see them grow, but we're going to have to overwinter them on top. But we will do that.
We won't look at any of these other frames.
Nope, because there's nothing.
And when you say
saw something in there that you wanted to show me.
Remember.